What is up, bodyweight exercise fans? Welcome to part 2 of optimizing rep ranges for muscle growth with calisthenics. As you can see, besides some muscle gains, I've also made some tan gains here in beautiful Greece, for those of you who make a little bit fun of me and my pale vampire skin. You know, it's not that easy to get a tan in the Netherlands, where I spent most of this year. So in part 1, let's get back to our topic. We talked about rep ranges, numbers. You know, we talked about how important it is to focus within that 6 to 12 rep range in order to get muscle growth. And today we're going to talk about limitations that arise with bodyweight exercises when it comes to basically working within that rep range. Because, you know, the more you train, the stronger you get, and at some point doing anywhere between 6 and 12 repetitions isn't enough challenging for you. So, you know, let's say you're doing push-ups, you know, you get stronger in the beginning, 5 reps are challenging, 6 are challenging, 12 are challenging, but pretty fast, you know, you'll see that if you do 12 reps, that's not basically getting you any tired, and because of that, that's not stimulating any muscle growth, because it's not only about focusing within that 6 to 12 rep range, it's also about getting you know, a challenging stimulus from your sets. You know, it's about doing hard, high intensity sets. So a typical approach to work around this problem with calisthenics is using progressions and variations of the exercises. So 3 easy ways to do that. You know, 3 ways that most people recommend are doing single arm versions of the exercises, such as 1-arm push-ups. Another is you can do weighted calisthenics, so adding weight on you. And another thing you can do is changing the width of your stance, of your arms. You know, either you're on the floor or the width of your grip if you're doing an exercise you're hanging off, such as inverted rows or pull-ups. And in my opinion, I wouldn't use most of these other than the 1-arm push-up, because there is a better way to increase the intensity of your sets. So why do I think that the 1-arm push-up is such a cool progression for building muscle, and probably the only 1-arm version of bodyweight exercises worth investing in? Where number one, they're pretty easy to accomplish. So it only, once you know you can get a lot of good quality normal push-ups, if you work for a few weeks on progressions, I have a tutorial, I'm going to link it above, you can get a couple of high quality repetitions on 1 arm. So they're time effective, you know, it doesn't take that long to master them. Of course, increasing more and more reps gets more and more challenging. They look pretty cool, another plus, and they work on your whole upper body. So other than your shoulder, your triceps and your chest, they also activate your core a lot, specifically all your abdominals, because you're standing only on 1 arm, so your body, your core, has to keep your body straight, and basically your abs act in an anti-rotary fashion to keep your body straight when it tends to like fall on the side that you're not leaning on. So other than the 1-arm push-up, you know, there are a couple of more exercises you can do with 1 arm, such as the 1-arm pull-up. But for example, the 1-arm pull-up takes a long time to master. For your strong arm, it might take anywhere between 8 to 16 months. And for your weaker arm, it can take double that. So for me, it basically took, I would say, a year to get a 1-arm pull-up with my strong arm, and about 2.5 years to get a 1-arm pull-up with my left arm. Now, even once you master the 1-arm pull-up, even once you get, you know, 1 quality rep, it's really difficult to keep on adding reps, and the way you do them is really explosive, you know, unless you're super strong and you can do like super slow, clean 1-arm pull-ups, which I don't think there are a lot of people on this planet that can do that. You know, it's not really worth that time investment, you know, for muscle growth, because this is the topic we're talking about today. If you want to have it as a milestone, you know, as a skill that you're working on, of course, fine. You know, you can check out the tutorial I've made on 1-arm pull-ups. I've wrote a blog post for T-Nation, you know, and I think it's something cool to master, but also keep in mind that there are other risks. So injuries, you know, elbows are really prone to injury with the 1-arm pull-up. So If you're past that age where, you know, joints start to get sensitive between, I would say, after 25 or after 30, bees are coming my way. So if you see me swinging a little bit, it's cause of the bees. Back to our topic. So, you know, that's the reason I only focus on one-arm push-ups. That's the reason I only include one-arm push-ups in my programs. You know, there are other exercises you might be able to do, such as one-arm handstand push-ups. I think there's only like one video on YouTube of somebody doing that. So good luck. If you can get a lot of reps, you're probably one of the very few people on this planet. Moving on, the other progression variation you can do for making your bodyweight exercises more difficult are weighted calisthenics, as I mentioned. But, you know, here comes the issue of, is this still calisthenics, you know, when you're adding weight on you? Now, I'm not that dogmatic, and, you know, that's not the issue I have with weighted calisthenics. My issue is that the reason I like calisthenics is because they're very practical, very flexible. You know, you don't need to carry a lot of equipment with you. You know, don't need to be at a specific place to do them. So if you want to do weighted calisthenics, that instantly puts another limitation in your workouts in terms of flexibility. So that's the reason I'm not a big fan of weighted calisthenics. And the third thing we said you can do to make your exercises more difficult, the third most common thing, is changing the width of your hands. Either that's on a stance on the floor or when you're hanging from the pull-up bar. So, you know, your grip width. And the reason I'm also not a big fan of that is because, you know, a lot of people will do wide grip pull-ups to activate their lats more. But guess what? Wide grip pull-ups don't work more on your lats. That's a myth. And what they can do is cause injuries on the middle of your back, at some muscles. You know, you can get some small tears. I've mentioned this in my book, you know, how to get a gymnast's back with pull-ups. I talk about that in a lot of detail. Maybe I should make a video. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. Other people will do wide push-ups to activate their chest more, and that's another myth. You know, wide stance push-ups don't activate your chest more. There are actually studies that have proven that, you know, a normal width is better for your chest. So that's something I talked a lot in my book, How to Sculpt the Greek God's Chest with push-ups. I talk, for those of you who have read it, you probably remember it. Maybe I should make a video about that as well. Let me know if that's something that interests you. So myths for wide grips in pull-ups and push-ups, maybe a cool topic for another video. But, you know, very shortly today, these both three variations, so weighted calisthenics, single arm progressions, and wider grip or even narrower grip. You know, a lot of people will do more narrow grip push-ups, for example, for tricep activation. The problem there is that you create a lot of torsion in your joints. So, you know, basically you create a lot of friction in your shoulders, and you can also get some problems with that. So it's better to do your exercises in their natural form, and there is a better way that I prefer for making your exercises more challenging in order to work within that 6 to 12 rep range, you know, and get quality repetitions and stimulate more muscle hypertrophy, which is our topic in these videos. And what is that way? That way is using mind to muscle connection strategies. So for those of you who haven't heard these, you know, I have a playlist. I'm going to link it above. And you can also find some videos. I'm going to link a few videos as well on how to use mind to muscle connection. A very simple way to explain mind to muscle strategies is the following. It's basically a metaphor that I thought of a couple of days ago during the morning while I was working on my new book on my laptop, How to Maximize Muscle Growth with Calisthenics. More on that book in a couple of weeks when it will be more closer to ready. So the metaphor is like this. I thought it was cool. If your body is the barbell that you're lifting during bodyweight exercises, then mind to muscle techniques is the way you can add more mental weight on that barbell. So basically, mind to muscle strategies is a way to increase the intensity of an exercise without having to add any physical weight on it, or to make big changes in your technique, you know, and mess up your form, create other problems, create injuries and stuff like that. So we'll be talking more about this in part 3 of rep ranges for maximizing muscle growth with calisthenics. I hope you liked today's video. Leave me your comments below with any questions, you know, anything you'd like to share with me. What are your opinions on this topic? Download my free beginner's guide if you're new, if you want to get started with something. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Like the video, and until next time, keep on training.